Thumb.
Welcome to the Denim and Pearls podcast. Business casual conversation laced with pearls of wisdom. Casual, authentic, unscripted dialogue about life, work, and entrepreneurship with the perfect blend of laughter and seriousness. Pull up a chair, kick back, and lean in as we welcome your hosts, Michelle Ross and Brian Swanson.
Hello. How are we all?
I'm hanging in there. How about you?
Doing pretty good, actually. It was a happy little weekend. So, anyhow, welcome to Denim and Pearls. I'm Brian Swanson.
I'm Dr. Michelle Moras.
Wow, I hope my static in my ear is better than over there. So, anyway, what's that?
I hear no static.
Okay, that's probably a good thing. So, anyhow, it's been an exciting couple of weeks, and we have not been online, as most of you have probably noticed. However, we're back in the saddle for a little bit here. Oh, we used that title once before, but today we're talking about life changes.
Well, you've had major one. You acquired a new son.
A whole new son-in-law and a whole bunch of family and but it was good. It was a good weekend. The daughter got married this weekend. Some of you know that, but the daughter got married this weekend and everything went well. It went pretty much as planned. I mean, there's always snafus, but there was no infighting that I'm aware of.
No.
I think the families loved each other. They were a little separated, but I think we were a happy-go-lucky wedding this weekend. So
it was awesome.
So that was my life change at this point because I had to deal with it for the last month and a half. Something like, Only, yeah. Finishing the basement that you all know I started like 3 years ago. Got 90%.
The wedding, your daughter and your wife have been planning this for a while.
Well, they have, yes. They definitely have been working on this for about a year, something like that.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of planning goes. I mean, I do events. But when the daughter wants something and the wife wants something, and it's my job to sit back and go, yes, ma'am.
Exactly. Good job.
What's that?
Out of all those years, that's what you've learned, and it's a good one. Yes, dear.
Yes, dear. So yeah, it has been exciting from that standpoint. I've gotten a lot of things accomplished that I was kind of
procrastination.
Yes, stalling, procrastination, which we've talked about on the show numerous times. And then we'll switch over from mine over to yours. What have you been doing for the last couple of weeks that we haven't been online?
I've been bouncing around for one thing. I went up to Baltimore for an event, then had to leave on emergency because my mother got very ill in Dallas. And then I left there for a little bit because I had to do an event in Las Vegas for the Now Network of Outstanding Women, which was a nice break. And then I came back here to Dallas to help care for my mother. And it's been an adventure because my family gets along anyways. We get along really well. But when you're under stress, under duress, you respond differently. So it's not infighting, but it's misunderstandings. And what I found is, just like in any situation, when you put people in hot water, they don't do, let me logically think about this. They just immediately answer what's in their brain. There's no filter. And then people do, well, that was a really mean way of saying that. They're really mean. It's like, no, they're not mean. They're under immense stress. And so what I wanted to share about with life changes today is when you're experiencing stress in your life, may it be little or enormous. In my case, it's enormous and it's affecting the entire family. You've got to give people grace.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yes, give grace under stress because people, as you would think, would rise to an occasion under stress. But what really happens is it shows all their vulnerabilities under stress. And not until after they've passed the stress will they realize that they've been running in panic mode, fight or flight.
Right now, we've talked about that too with me running events. And when I'm at the event, it's probably not the time to talk serious something about me. at that time to me. I'll wait until try and wait until after the event. We've talked about that, but when we're dealing with life changes, like your mother, and I dealt with my mother, 2 years ago. Um, and then, of course, the other side, the happier side, is dealing with a wedding and having to deal with the daughter and the wife
Stress,
and all the rest of the family coming in.
stress is stress. Never expect anything logical when people are under stress. You have to give them grace because
Don't understand.
yeah, he got a blister on his mouth and he said, "That's not from stress." Yes, it is. It's stress. You may not recognize it, but your body recognizes it. So like with me, I thought I was perfectly fine. And in Vegas, people were walking up to me doing at the event, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I'm fine." They do, "You don't feel fine." I do, "I'm fine."
Yeah,
But what happened is I went back to my room to lay down and realized I did a meditation and realized my entire body was in lock. I mean, it was locked. And I didn't notice it because I was just, okay, I'm just going to keep going, make everything's fine. Everything's fine. And when I laid down and did my meditation, I realized every neck muscle, my spine, my ribs, everything was like locked. I'm like, oh my, that's what everyone was noticing. I was rigid and didn't even know it.
right. Well, it's not just the seeing you rigid; it's that attitude that comes out that's projected. It's not like you're walking around like a zombie.
No, but I'm not. I'm not shining. I tend
Right.
to be sparkling and shining and smiling, and it was
Glowy.
just M. M. So I'm in Dallas for the foreseeable future, and it's really odd because I have to adjust my life, and so I've canceled on events, and I refuse to leave the country with my mom in this state, and so I've canceled everything, and
Well,
I
it would be a travesty to leave the country. Something happened, and just like you left Baltimore, having to turn around and come right back. I mean, it's not worth it. So things in our lives have to take priority. I think priority is a huge thing. And it always amazes me when these kind of things happen, because I mean it's happened through me throughout my life. I mean, I spent 4 months with my mom, not in my own hometown, or not where I live anyway. Um, but it's amazing how we always say, I don't have time for this,
and
or
then
I don't have
suddenly you do.
time for that. And then something happens like this, and it's like, oh, everything else gets pushed aside. So it's priorities. It's what's important to you in your life.
Well, and that's one of the that's another thing that popped in my mind. You find out who is important to you in your life.
Oh,
When
that
you
too. Yeah.
so when you've been trying to meet with someone, "Hey, let's meet." "Okay, let's meet." And then it never happens. People make time for people that are important to them. They will
Right.
find time. And so part of my, when I first started my business, I started time blocking and everyone's like, "Why?" I said, "Well, I open a very small window to have appointments with me. Those who really want to meet me will fit in that window. If they don't want to really meet with me, they won't fit in that window, and it's okay."
Right. Well, it's also, you can look at it from, is it destined to be a conversation? Is it destined not to be a conversation? So sometimes it's just a matter of, we'll make it work eventually.
Yeah. And
you
so I,
know.
I don't worry about it. But yeah, when emergency things happen, when very important things happen, you suddenly find time. It's inconvenient. Okay, I'm not
Mhm.
saying it's gonna be easy, but you will find the time and make a way.
Well, I
But
think it's
now,
a feeling of inconvenience.
yeah, and I honestly think there is no way I would lose the time with my mother right now,
Right.
and with my siblings, because a lot of us are together taking care of mom and laughing and joking and having a good old time. And because she's very, very grumpy and bossy right now, and it's hilarious. But and it's funny and hilarious and sad and beautiful at the same time because we all get to be there.
Yeah. Well, the other thing I'm thinking too, when we talk about life changes too, I'm 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 going to the Gen X kind of thing. We're all at that age. I mean, we've lost some of our heroes, our celebrity heroes. We've lost some of our, our parents in a lot of cases, like I have. We've lost a lot of different things like that because life changes and different things are. I mean, right now they're putting a big show on TV about Elizabeth Taylor. I remember Elizabeth Taylor as an older person, older woman. I don't remember when she was in her prime. You
It
know
was
what I'm saying?
stunning. Yeah.
Well, I've seen that in the pictures, recently. But things change. We're losing a lot of our 80s, our 90s heroes. Some of them too soon. Different things, and that's just in call it our social lives. That doesn't include our personal lives of the aunts, the uncles, the cousins, the best friends, and
About to say, you
we're
almost
just at that
lost
age.
me. You almost
What's
lost me.
that?
You almost lost me in August. You almost lost me 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, well, I'm getting used to that now. It's like she'll be back. Don't worry. So, but yeah, life just hands us curveballs sometimes, and a celebrity is probably not something that is going to take priority in our lives to, oh, I've got to run over and put, I remember 1977 and losing Elvis, and all the flowers on Graceland and stuff like that. Oh, well, first of all, I probably wasn't old enough. Well, I was 10. Um, I couldn't run over to there and uproot my life to go put flowers on his grave. So it's not necessarily life changing to us, but it also makes a difference because we'll never see his music again. We'll never see his influence on the community again. And pick a celebrity. I just chose Elvis at this point, but they may have an influence to us personally, but they don't necessarily somebody we're going to drop our business for and our lives for in order to go put flowers on their grave. It's just not that way.
So back to business. Denim and Pearls, business casual pearls of wisdom from the porch. And we talk about what we just talked about, personal life changes. Now, in your business, you need to prepare for those life changes that happen. And if your business is moving right along and you have, let's say, a death in the family or a sickness in you, do you have a succession plan? Do you have someone who can take over to keep the business running while you attend to personal reasons like someone passing away in your family? Those are parts of business that a lot of us don't think about until we're in it. And so what Brian and I would like to make sure you remember: do you have a succession plan? Do you trust somebody? Have someone in your lineup that can take over what you do, right?
Well, a lot of that can be tested too. I mean, take a week's vacation and take all communication out of your business for a week, and then come back and see what kind of shape it's in. Can you do that? Or is that a possibility? If you walk away and your business is garbage when you get back, even if it's for a weekend, at least test it. Do you have somebody who's running your business with you in mind? Are they still doing that? And then what happens if you're permanently gone? So, but at least try a weekend, and then maybe a week, and then 2 weeks, and things like that. If you've got somebody who can run your business with trust.
It's huge. I know I worked for an outreach ministry, and when our pastor, who led it all, passed away, all connections went away.
Yep.
All knowledge of what was coming next went away, and there was no one that could take his place with the relationships he had made in the community. So the entire outreach that he did in the city of Colorado Springs went away. His legacy left. And so when I think of legacy, I think you must be grooming someone behind you to do what you do, because the world needs what you do.
Well, we're all unique in that way because we all put our unique perspective on everything, and that all comes from the things that we've learned, the environments we've been in, those kind of stuff. So nobody's going to run your business the way that you run your business, but are they going to be able to run your business the way you built your business? That's the
Are they
key.
going to run it the way it was built, and are they going to run it in the way your client base is expecting it to be?
Right. Well, just take Walmart and what's his name? Oh my gosh, totally lost his name. Yeah, Sam Walton. I had Sam, I just didn't have the Walton. He built Walmart on the perspective of doing business with American business companies. So he'd find a product that he'd say, hey, I want this in my store, but it's made in China, Taiwan, whatever the case may be. How can I find somebody in the United States to build that product and still be able to sell it at a reasonable price? And that was his philosophy. But when his family took over, it was like, how can we do this the cheapest? It was a different perspective. So it changed the entire perspective of Walmart. Now, needless to say, they were successful, as we noticed. But they did. They changed his business model. Do you want that to happen to your business? Do you think it would happen to your business if somebody took over? Even if it is a small business, who's going to replace you? And then we can get into, key man insurance and life insurance and all those other fun things. But that's a lot of the technicals that we've discussed before on this show.
And so the other thing about that is just because you have a business, you have children, don't expect them to take over.
Right. Unless they're groomed for that.
Yeah, because a lot of times a kid will be working, your child will be working with you, but they have no intention of taking what you've done. They don't want the job you have, and watching you do it makes them not want it even more. So you've got to remember, just because you have children in your line doesn't mean they're taking over. So when you do a succession plan, you've got to look around. Who's around you? Is there somebody in that company that's showing some serious initiative? And it's something to keep in mind.
I agree. It's all, we all have to prepare for the future and prepare for our going away. Even if we decide to take a vacation and run off to the Bahamas for 8 months, I mean, we're leaving, and how is that business going to run? Do you have the structure in place? We were actually discussing this in a small way today at the ACA Business Club. What does a club do? Who's going to take care of what as it grows? And it's only in the beginning stages here in town. But there is a national ACA Business Club is a national organization. So there is like a headquarters or something that they've been doing it for a long time and they understand how to do it, but you still have to build the local one in order to meet the needs of the headquarters or meet the needs of the people that are within the community and all those other kind of things. And today it came down to who's running the it wasn't a serious conversation, but it was still a serious topic of who's running the social media pages, who's going to lead the groups to do this. These are all questions and structural questions that need to be answered for the local. And of course, all the folks running the local were in Kansas City, where the main hub is, learning all this stuff this weekend. And that's why it became such an issue today. So even if it's, ACA is not a networking club, it's a private club, business club is what it is. And they're trying to change that focus because they've kind of figured out that it's networking that's kind of falling into play here. And it's time here in the beginning to change that perspective. It is a personal business club, plain and simple. So yeah, there's a little promo for ACA.
ACA stands for the American Club Association.
Yeah, the ACA Business Club is what it's technically called, but there's franchises throughout the country, and even outside the United States. It's an international, but it's a great club, and it's great people, and people who can share their business knowledge. Those who have been there, done that, can teach those who haven't. Ooh, that was a pretty good line. So, but it's the same. It's a perfect example of your business and how things are going. And I'm, Michelle and I will be part of that once she gets back into the flow of things. And I get the one group started that I started yesterday, and we get that built in business development team and being able to support each other within our businesses. Wow, that was pretty good. I should learn something more. So how is Dallas?
Hot.
Is the weather better than here?
Hot.
Hot?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and my legs and my arms are bit up by mosquitoes, so it's different.
They have mosquitoes there?
They have giant mosquitoes here.
Well, that goes the reason I would ever want to go to Dallas
It's like,
to live.
and the only reason we can go outside at night is because the sun is so hot during the day. But when you go out at night, the mosquitoes are out. So it's been an interesting thing. My walks have been challenging because I can't walk in the morning or work out in the morning.
Do you have a gym nearby?
Well, my brother has a gym in his house, but
Oh,
there's so many people staying here right now that I can't get into the gym because people are sleeping in there. And
oh, okay.
so I walk in the morning, but the sun gets so hot. So I've been walking in the afternoon, but then I get eaten by mosquitoes. So I don't know what I'm doing. I'll just keep doing what I do.
You just have to sneak some of the curling weights out of the gym and put them in your room.
No, he has it's all this attached equipment. It's all
Oh, so no loose weights, no free
no,
weights.
it's pretty fancy dancy, pretty cool.
Sounds
Yeah.
like a trip to Walmart for 5 pound or 10 pound weights.
Well, actually, what I figured is I'm moving some people into the other room, and then I'm going to move into that room, so it'll be free, so I can work out.
Oh, so you'll just take over the gym.
Yeah. But,
I'm bored. Do some curls.
but I haven't slept in any bed since I got here. I sleep on a chair next to my mom because I like hearing her breathe.
Uh-huh.
I'm weird like
Been
that.
there, done that.
Yeah. So I'm losing consciousness right now. So
Okay.
can we call it a show?
Of course we can. It's 21. It's our show. We are the boss.
Yeah, I haven't slept, and there's people here to watch mom, so I can pass out now.
Nice, nice. I got
Either
another
that or I'll go for a
one.
walk and sweat to death and drop about 20 pounds. But
Mm-hmm. Hot yoga in Dallas. Just
hot
go outside.
walking. Yeah, amazing how hot it is. So thank you so much for joining us on Denim and Pearls. And Brian, thank you for starting it and getting my sound to work. And I can't think of anything else except
Don't forget to like and share.
like and share. We'll see you next week, Friday, same bat time, same bat channel. And I'll try to be more awake next week. Okay?
You did pretty good today.
I got squinty eyes like you.
Oh, I have those. That's
Yeah.
just I was actually, oh my gosh, totally off topic. Somebody asked me this weekend during the thing, somebody I've known forever looks at me and says, "Why do you have more crow's feet than this guy?" Who's older than me? I'm like, really? Oh man, do I need to find facial cream now? Anyway, it's been a pleasure. I'm Brian Swanson.
I'm Dr. Michelle Moroz.
We're Denim and Pearls
We are business casual with
Pearls of Wisdom.
From the Porch. So signing out from Dallas. Have a good
All
one,
right.
everybody.
Peace.
Peace.